folks, and welcome to the Bend Show. You know, where you shut the tractor down, you pull the big rig over, get out of the office, and share the other parts of life with us in the outdoors, where you never know what's coming around the bend. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, aka Beck. As always, we love hearing from all of you. Comments, stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime. Call or text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363. Or drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Sitting shotgun as always and having my back is producer, sound engineer, and my co-host, Jeff Tigger Erhardt.
I don't want to be producer, and I do not want to be sound engineer no more.
Well, friends and family.
I want to get out and do all the things you're talking about, but no, I got to work my little magic.
But we have been, and that's what I was going to get into, is how friends and family seem to matter most to us, as they always should. And last week, Tigger, he came to the rescue when my brother got in a bind. And Tigger stepped in and did something, well, pretty darn cool. We'll put it this way. Some of you may or may not know this, but on top of Tigger being a PRCA rodeo announcer, he is also a licensed auctioneer.
25, now 50.
So Tigger stepped in, covered for my brother at a big, we're talking big 60-team walleye fishing tournament, and announced a Calcutta for the tournament. Now, those unfamiliar with a Calcutta, here I just thought I better maybe explain it quick. It's very common in the rodeo world when teams or participants are auctioned off. It's a form of kind of like gambling. Attendees and participants can bid on themselves.
Legally.
Yes, legally. Or they can bid on themselves or on each other, adding to the excitement of the tournament. Well, these teams, they sold for some legit dollars, thanks to Tigger. They were selling for upwards of $1,000.
And for those, if you buy one of the winning teams, you share in their winnings. Mm-hmm. So say you buy a team for $500 and they came in first and they won $10,000, you get a share of their success. So you could make a lot of money off of, say, that $500 investment. That's how the Calcuttas work.
And that's how he made rodeo and walleye fishing all come together. Made it for a very fun evening. Well, this last minute fun.
I just got a little mental picture of a bronc rider on a walleye. Isn't that cool? I just got a little mental picture of a little bronc rider on a walleye, and he's marking them out. We need to have, Jamie, you need to design a logo for us now on that. I like that.
By the way, those of you that hold fishing tournaments across the country, if you're thinking you would like to add something different to your tournament, give us a shout here at the Bend, and we'll see if Tigger and I can help you out with that. Well, this last minute fun did lead to a whole weekend of unexpected adventuring for Tigger and I, because as a result of the walleye tournament, we ended up crossing paths with old friends and ended up ourselves on the big water, Lake Sakakawea, boating, visiting Indian Hills Resort, and get this, have you heard of Goat Island?
And it's not shaped like a goat either.
Yes, there's one
we thought it was.
inhibited.
We thought it was going to be in the shape of like a goat's
Mm-hmm.
head. Mm-hmm. No, sir.
No, this actually was an island you can only get to by boat, and it only has goats on it. Our first story takes us to England. Snake gets caught in bed springs. An England man recently called first responders after his snake, Sid, got stuck in bed springs. Firefighters removed the 6-foot boa constrictor without getting bit. Firefighters then took selfies with the snake before returning it to its enclosure. Why? Why would you even have a snake like that in your house is all I can think of. Next, now we're back to United States, California. Okay, I see what Tigger's doing here. You can see he put the news together. Smuggler stuffs 60 snakes in pants. You know, I think we've shared this one before. This was the California man caught back in February when, with 60 snakes and other reptiles stuffed in his pants, he was caught while crossing the border from Mexico back into the U.S. Okay, well, back then he told the border agents at the time the reptiles were his pets. Well, now he's been officially sentenced. The California man has pled guilty to 2 counts of smuggling for a total of 1,700 animals and 1 count of wildlife trafficking, resulting in 45 years in prison. Heading to Florida, a Florida diver claims to have become best friends with a shark named Emma. The two first met 20 years ago when he removed 4 hooks from her jaw. Now the two swim together and take selfies. The man says, the affection is hands-on, rubbing her head, and I usually use a hand signal, which is rubbing my thumb to my fingertips, and the shark swims directly towards me. The shark Emma has been in 14 documentaries and is world famous. She is underneath my boat 10 months of the year and never leaves. She would only come in really close when I was there. You would think that somebody like me doing shark dives, probably more than anyone on the planet, would not have any arms or legs, and you can see I'm perfectly fine. Now north to Michigan. A Flint, Michigan man, while out bow fishing, recently shot himself something unexpected. Ken Ware Jr. was bow fishing on the Pine River when he arrowed himself a massive goldfish. The goldfish was the size of a football. Folks, please remember, do not release your pets like goldfish into the wild. Might have been cool for him to arrow one, but really, these are invasive species in most cases and tend to ruin our rivers, lakes, and lands. Our last story is a big one, so you'll want to listen up. It affects a good third of the country. And if you don't think you have this issue in your neck of the woods, you never know when it may appear. This was the big headline. To hear more gobbles, stop the squeal. Yes, we're talking feral hogs or wild pigs. If there are feral hogs in the woods you hunt, there may not be as many wild turkeys as there could be. Hogs have previously been named among many suspects for causing the recent national decline in turkeys, but not until this last month when Auburn University revealed brand new science documenting a relationship where they exist in the U.S. Feral hogs may be suppressing wild turkeys, and if you remove hogs, turkeys could rebound. A study at Texas A&M in joint with Auburn University found 29% of simulated turkey nests were raided by hogs, the most of any nest predator. According to Auburn University, when the number of feral hogs removed is equal to the initial population, there will be a 70% increase in wild turkey abundance. When you remove twice the initial hog population, there will be a 190% increase in wild turkey abundance. Swine have a reproduction rate 6 times that of white-tailed deer. 6 times. The universities have discovered for management of feral hogs or pigs, it requires a removal rate of at least 50 to 70% of a hog population annually, with most of those being sows and young, to bring it under control. Now, if you come across feral hogs or wild pigs in your area, and especially if it's an area not known for these animals, one needs to contact their local state game and fish wildlife officials immediately, as in some cases there are laws in place for the handling of these occurrences. To avoid any problems with the law, best to report and know your state's stance on feral hogs. Now that's a wrap of the news. Stay where you are. One never knows what's coming up around the bend. We'll be right back. This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the Shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again.
Join the Celebration Nation. Never miss another national day. From National Pretzel Day to Junk Food Day, be notified about contests, coupons, and prize opportunities. NationalDayCalendar.com. Never miss a reason to celebrate every day.
Waterfowl, turkey, deer. ToxicCalls.com offers all of the various styles of calls needed to take your hunt to the next level when you create quite simply the most real sound yet. American made to boot. Order today. ToxicCalls.com.
The hunt is planned. The guide is booked. The trip is blocked off in the calendar. But one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, Skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
We are in the kitchen of our own cabin, where Tigger has been added already this morning. But what's going on is with hunting season starting, Tigger knows I love having jerky in my pack as well as he does.
Who doesn't like jerky in their pack? Well, the big thing now is because we're hoping to fill our tags, which means we're going to be filling our freezers, which means we need to make room for said trophies, which means we are going in excess and making a pile of jerky. We're doing this a little bit different than we maybe do in the spring, and we're doing 50% beef and 50% venison, and mix that together. And here's the big thing, because everybody goes nuts over our jerky, and this is not rocket science. This is not a hidden secret recipe. It is when you mix your marinade together with your meats, your cure, and your seasoning, let it sit for at least 24 hours. When you do that, you get the best tasting jerky because it's real consistent with that marinade and that taste. Does that make sense?
It does. And when he says he mixes it and lets it sit for 24 hours, he massages it into the hamburger or the ground venison really, really well. And then halfway through that process, so about 12 hours into it, he goes back in and mixes it up again really, really, really well. And how we're preparing the jerky then also is in our own dehydrator. But how long does that take again, Tigger?
This batch is going to take maybe about 4 to 5 hours to dehydrate. And I do it different here too, is I put the ground beef and the mixture on parchment paper first, because it just keeps the dehydrating the racks clean. So I put it on parchment paper first, which means maybe an extra hour or so, but I go by feel. So roughly in between that 4 and 6 hours is what it's going to take to dehydrate this. And then, kind of like we always say, let your steaks sit after you cook them. Same thing with beef jerky. I mean, you and I go, "Brr," and we dive right into it, but it tastes so much better after you dehydrate that you let it sit and you let it kind of cool down to room temperature and then eat it. So it's a few days process, but it is, oh my gosh, it is so well worth it. It's our favorite snack.
The spotlight today is on Connor Cruise, the 27-year-old son of famous actors Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. While he was making a splash in the headlines after last week's fishing tournament, Connor Cruise made headlines on his latest biggin that he and his crew reeled in. Get this, Connor was fishing the Florida Sarasota Slam fishing tournament when he snagged himself a 301-pound Warsaw grouper on a hand crank. That massive grouper won him the tournament. Kinda neat how someone with some of the most well-known actors of our time, Tom Cruise, box office smash this summer was Maverick, and then actress Nicole Kidman for A Mom. His stepdad is Keith Urban. Well, it turns out Connor Cruise is kind of like many of us. He loves the outdoors, and that's his passion and livelihood today. After dabbling in acting and being a DJ, he now lives in Florida, where he's a deep-sea fisherman and has a love for grilling by sharing his videos as Connor's Meat Shack. Regardless, congrats, Connor Cruise, on one heck of a catch, and thank you for making the outdoors a positive space. You aren't going to want to go anywhere, because coming up, we head to the field for some updates, plus Beck's barrel of the good stuff. Stay where you are. We make our final bend right after this. Buckstorm Hunts offering Black Hills guided rifle and archery hunts on over 1 million acres for deer and turkey, and for South Dakota residents, elk and bighorn sheep too. Hunts are limited. Book a hunt today. Head to buckstormhunts.com.
It's all about you. This is Michelle with About You Photography. Super excited to be the official photographer of Tigger and Beck. Other than the ranch, photography and design is what I do for a living. From rodeo and Western sports to the elegant to the tasteful, artistic, beautiful, and private, we can take care of whatever you're needing. If I can make Tigger look good, imagine what I can do for you. Get a hold of me for all of your photography needs, from custom shoots to stock photos.
The calendar has been marked, your aim is on point, and all that's missing is a clothes to take you to the next level. TheTellyOutdoors.com specializes in clothes that fit, wicks, and move silently while providing comfort and durability. TheTellyOutdoors.com.
Cowboys.
You got it. I'm pro rodeo announcer Jeff Tigger Erhardt. Join me September 9th through the 11th at the Quentin Burdick Sports Arena in Devils Lake, North Dakota for the Devils Lake Shootout Rodeo. Can't make the action? No problem. Watch live on darntv.com. Brought to us in part by the Devils Lake Rodeo Club, the North Dakota Rodeo Association, and the Minnesota Rodeo Association. September 9th through the 11th in Devils Lake, North Dakota.
Welcome back, folks. This is Beck with The Bend. Thanks for sticking with us as we make this final round. We are going to head to the field first off. Things are heating up, and we're not just talking about the upcoming hunting seasons and fall fishing.
Hey, Beck, Sean with Toxic Calls up here in Washington State. I'm driving around with the AC as high as it'll go because it is too stinking hot. But looking at the extended forecast, we might be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel come the first week or so of September. That's perfect because we're in the thick of it now. 1st of September for us here opens dove season. We've got a good number of salmon coming up the river. Steelhead counts are climbing as well, and it's in the thick of walleye fishing. So between trying to get out and hunt some doves and do a little fishing and make sure we got everything ready for duck season, we are staying plenty busy, and I can only hope for cooler temps. So that's my update. I'm gonna get off the phone so I can turn the AC back up in the pickup. But we appreciate the Bend Radio Show and look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Have a good one. Bye.
Thanks again, Sean. We sure do appreciate hearing from you. Stay cool, amigo. Now we head to the Black Hills where Travis Teal, the guide and outfitter from the YouTube show Buckstorm, has this.
A lot of states have seasons opening September 1. South Dakota archery deer opens for residents on public land. And anyone on private land. So it's an exciting time. Just been out trying to pattern deer. Water's been important. We have caught some pretty good rains the last week or so, but it's definitely coming down to the wire. It's fun watching the velvet buck parades this time of year. Hopefully you guys are all out enjoying the outdoors in some way, shape, or form. And we're almost through the dog days, so hang in there. Hunting season's upon us, and good luck out there in the field. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks again, Travis, and best of luck this opening archery weekend to Team Buckstorm. Remember, if you have a field update of your own to share, reach out to us here at The Bend anytime. Call or text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363. Now for a few of, let's call this Beck's Barrel of the Good Stuff stories.
Beck's Barrel of the Good Stuff? Do you have something going on in the backyard or something? Some sort of little distiller or something?
Heading to Pennsylvania.
Not that I'm complaining.
Pennsylvania. A woman takes emotional support gator to the park. A Philadelphia woman was recently spotted walking her emotional support alligator through a local park. The alligator was on a leash and was seen relaxing in the park's fountain and splash pad. I am surprised that's legal.
I can only assume that it's probably a little gator. It's not like a 10-foot gator.
Well, it doesn't say, but it did say some people walked over and rubbed the gator while others took selfies, and one man even got the gator to hug him.
Are you sure this wasn't like a Pomeranian? And they just had a Pomeranian named Gator?
Heading south to Florida,
Fact checkers.
Another gator story. Last couple of weeks, it was all about the bears. This week, it's gator time. An alligator decided to enroll in classes now that they're back in session. A middle school in Fort Myers, Florida, had a 7-foot gator wandering on the school grounds when students showed up for class. Officers quickly arrived and tied the gator's snout before relocating it to safety.
You know, if there is one critter that I would love to hunt, it would be gators.
Really?
Gators are the top of my list. I don't know why that is, because I would be afraid all the way around of everything, being in the boat and everything. But I think that would just be super cool to be able to harvest a gator.
Let's put it on the bucket list.
On the bucket. If anybody out there would like us to come down and broadcast
yes,
from
please.
said gator country, we would certainly do so.
Heading west to Colorado. I guess we're not out of the woods yet on the bear stories. Speaking of a Pomeranian earlier, Tigger, a Colorado Pomeranian is being hailed as a hero for chasing off a bear. The giant black bear was wandering through a neighborhood when the Pomeranian spotted it and began chasing the bear. The bear took off back into the wooded forest, wanting no part of this small dog. Now we head to Alabama. Goats try to steal a police car. An Alabama deputy was recently serving civil documents when several goats entered his police car. They ate his paperwork before he was able to get them out of the vehicle.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
The local police department took to Facebook having fun with this and posting a response. Our deputy has explained that due to the number of homes he visits daily, on occasions he leaves his vehicle door open because he's had to retreat from being attacked by canines.
Okay, that makes sense. Right.
This deputy has been serving the citizens of Madison County, Alabama for about 40 years and is considered one of our GOAT, greatest of all time deputies.
I see what you did there.
Folks, mark your calendars. Get them out. You'll want to pay attention to what's going on here now in September. Howe Caverns and Howe's Caves, New York, is hosting their 4th annual Naked in a Cave event on September 17th.
Are you making this deal up? Naked in a cave.
That's right. Thinking of going? Don't wait and plan to show up. This event requires a ticket, and they're expecting it to sell out.
Where do you put the ticket?
Participants will navigate 156 feet below Earth's surface to get naked with other strangers in a cave.
You're being serious.
I am. This is a big deal.
This is... Okay, wait a minute.
It's legit.
You're cave exploring, and then you're with a bunch of strangers, and everybody's buck naked.
You're just naked, free as a jaybird.
Jaybird
there you go.
naked.
The tickets cost $85. VIP tickets are available, and they include a 3-course meal, complimentary beverage, and a souvenir robe.
Of course, a souvenir robe. $85 to get naked in the meal, and a complimentary robe.
You got it.
You know, you aren't even talking about the stuff where we're going to be at. And we're going to have all of our clothes on. And it's not going to cost $85.
That's true. People are not paying us to get naked. Thank goodness.
Okay, now that is now if you want to go there, that is completely up to you. I'm going to say don't send selfies of anything that's going on.
We don't want to be tagged in those.
Exactly. But how about you mark your calendars for this next week, September 9, 10, and 11. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You and I are going to be doing our rodeo thing. I'm going to be announcing.
I'm going to be spinning the tunes.
You're going to be spinning the tunes, doing the music, and we're going to be in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Now, we mentioned this on the Ranch It Up show, too. I understand that people aren't going to be able to attend, but you can participate by going online to darntv.com, and you can watch the action. You can kind of meet us up close and personal. We're going to be calling the action. You can watch all 3 days of rodeo, including the slack. So big rodeo performance. There's over $20,000
it's a big
is added. So that means that there are people coming from, all over the region that is up to that. We're looking forward to making the trip to Devil's Lake, North Dakota. DarnTV.com is where y'all need to go to.
How cool is that? You actually can tune in and see us doing what we do.
Doing what we do instead of just talking about it. So when people say, do they really do this and this? We can go, But I'm going to say it's a little different than naked in a cave.
As always, folks, I welcome you. If you have a field update, a topic we should investigate, a different recipe, or a tale of your own to share, send it this way. Call, text 305-900-BEND. That is 305-900-2363. Or email bendradioshow@gmail.com. Social media, we're everywhere there too. Facebook and Instagram. Follow us at The Ben Show. Another reason to follow us is, remember, we like to upload little reels and videos that show you what we are doing and little, tips and tricks from the trades that we know. Thank you to my producer and sound engineer co-host Jeff Tigger Erhardt, and to our Bend field staffers, Sean Ayer from ToxicCalls.com representing the Pacific Northwest, and Travis Teal from Buckstorm covering the Badlands. As you all make those memories this fall, especially as hunting season and those autumn festivities are now underway, be sure to keep sending in those pictures by email and always tagging @TheBendShow on social media. We love hearing and sharing your life with you wherever you are on or off the trail, in the tractor seat, or tackling that next chapter from a new outdoors hobby to ranching to hunting to just trying to make it through the week. We want to see it all. We want to see and hear those memorable moments. Missed this episode or most of it? Find all our shows on the website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. Looking to change things up at your next event, conference, or awards banquet? Have us, Tigger and Beck, entertain your crowd. From MCs to the event headliner, public speaker, to acting as host couple, let us make your gathering extra special. From ranching, rodeo, cattle, hunting, fishing, camping, and so much more, we have stories to share with the laughs to be had. Thank you to our partners, Detelli Outdoors, thewomanangler.com, Buckstorm, Little Rack Taxidermy, Mickey's Mustard, ToxicCalls.com, Wablo Creek Outfitters, Atlas Tracks, Abrahamson Rodeo Company, RFD TV, and the Cowboy Channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners that came along, and whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. Remember to keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Bend on Facebook and on Instagram @TheBendShow. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Bend.